And we have a few folks popping on in. It is amazing. Stuart, welcome, welcome. How are you? Laura from Slovenia, thank you for joining in. Mark, Paulson, Stuart, Laura. We got everybody here live. And this is the exciting part is when you have familiar faces that are, that are jumping on the rocket ship with you, right? We're all just kind of buckling up. We're all trying to figure out what is our next evolution, whether we have an existing business and we're adding some fuel to that business, or we're a new business. We've gotten into this entrepreneurial mode, or we have a side hustle, right? We're trying to step up our knowledge, our experience, and our families, and we have to do what's best for us. So we've created and committed to this platform of high level, this operating system, and we're taking charge with the artificial intelligence, the AI reception gateway offer, and we're gonna take it and run with it. So thank you all for joining me here. Thank you for those that are commenting live and where you're from. If you haven't yet, let us know where you're from. Let us know where you're from because it matters. As we are developing the platform and we're making tweaks, we're finding that new countries are jumping on to high level. And have different needs than those in the United States. We're finding that in different parts of the United States, different areas have different industries that require different features, different benefits, different services. So as you're sharing where you're from, we're taking note of it. Our back-end team, puts this data together and we use it to make ourselves better to serve you. Our high-level community is amazing because of the people that engage with us like this and those that take our platform and put it in their business or on top of their existing business and allow us the opportunity to serve on their mission. So we have a jam-packed day. If you're just tuning in, we're just warming up. We're waiting for a few folks to jump in. We got a few hundred that are in our live Zoom. But if you're just jumping in for the first time here, I want you to kind of give you some of the housekeeping items. One housekeeping item, whether you're tuning in through YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, please engage with us on the platform that you prefer and that works best for you, because we're listening in on all of them. We're in the mix with you. Second, when asking your questions, throw a Q in front of your question. So Q : or Q space and your question. That way, when our team goes through it, they can grab that Q with our process, and we can make sure we start answering those questions for you. If you have not yet signed up for the 5-day AI challenge, but you're tuning in because you're part of one of our Facebook groups or someone shared what they're experiencing with you, make your way to the link below in the description that gets you to the 5-day AI challenge sign-up page. Now, you won't be able to join up right now for the actual challenge, but you'll be able to start your trial and pick up where we leave off from where we're at. So, if you sign up today for your trial, we give you access to the course, we give you access to the software, you can go back to the replays and start to play catch up. And we find that most people do that anyway because it's at their own pace. It's at your own pace. Everybody has different responsibilities, experiences, goals. So we take our own pace as our priority. So keep that in mind. If you have been joining us and you're not techie, right? You're not techie. You hate tech, but you're open to learning more and you're developing and you're getting over that hill. We have an amazing team with our customer success, our trial support, just our whole team behind the scenes that is standing by to assist you. And to reach them, it's speakwith.us/success. And these will be on some slides as we go. But I want to do a little bit of one-on-one time here because it's important that you know that behind all of this, there are human beings. I'm here with you side by side, but there are hundreds of other human beings behind me that are ready to give you the hand and support from a high-level team, but also from our Facebook group. We have an amazing Facebook group of those that were in our previous challenge and the challenge before that are getting ready to be moved into our other group, But now is a great time to pick their brain, share your starting journey, and they'll start getting in the conversation with you. So we have a fun-filled day ahead for those techies. For those that are not techie, we're going to take a deep breath, and we're going to take it step by step. Because the benefit of what you're experiencing right now live allows you the opportunity to press back, to slow it down, or to fast forward it. So we're going to get you the replays and all the tools and resources you need to go at your own pace. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are going to get ready to get started here. If you're cool with that, go ahead and type in the chat. Let's get started. Just want to make sure we're giving everyone a chance to jump on here. But if you're ready to get started, go on in the chat and throw in there, let's get started. And we're going to start getting this countdown started here. So I'm going to load up my slides, get a few other additional items here, and we're going to get moving and grooving. Pull this up here. All righty. And we are in slide mode. Share the screen. Okay, so again, welcome to the 5-day AI challenge. We're here, we're ready, and we went over day one. We went over the details of our offer, of our positioning, and we went over it a couple of times. So if you're watching us for the first time, you can go to the day one recorded live session in the membership course and watch that, because we go over it 2 to 3 times, because everybody had their own way of absorbing the positioning of this. But as a quick recap, I want you to keep 2 words in mind: gateway offer, and core offer. Those are the 2 most important ones for this kickoff, whether you are experienced or a newbie, is gateway offer and core offer. The gateway offer is our AI receptionist feature that we're going to solve the problem of removing the business owner from the tedious task of responding to the most frequently asked questions over and over and over, and their staff. And that gateway offer is designed to be an easy path of entry to do 2 things: to see what it's like to work with you, and to see what it's like to work with your technology. And as we start to show them through us over-delivering because of the knowledge we've consumed and what we're sharing, we're going to start evolving that gateway offer of the path of trust into our core offer. And that becomes the monthly recurring revenue. Think of it like a utility bill. You pay the lights, you pay the gas, you pay the water, whatever utility bill you pay, where you're at, that monthly recurring revenue, where shedding it off is hard to do. We're going to position the AI reception tool as something hard to disconnect. And it's not because of the price, it's because of the value that you bring as the professional, but the value that the tool brings based on how you set it up and what we've positioned for you. And as we start doing that, we're going to start taking that into what we call our Trojan horse approach. The Trojan horse approach is where we start with our one feature, our one gateway offer. We earn that trust. It evolves into the monthly recurring revenue core offer. And now we're showcasing our abilities and our additional tools to help that business owner that knows, likes, and trusts us now on how we can help them with other parts of their business. All of which has one priority in mind, and that is to impact the bottom line, the revenue bottom line of the business. So if they work with you and your core offer, they are going to see an increase in their bottom line because you either saved them time, you converted customers or visitors, or your big picture thinking, your experience led them to evolve their business. So there's so many ways to create a return on investment based on knowledge, tools, and relationship. And that's what I just want to, remind you all, because we get into tech and we get into new programs and new platforms, and it overwhelms us. Because sometimes we have those that think, like, I need to build this SOP. I need to build this training out. I need to do this, before even shaking hands or meeting someone. And then we have others that are like, oh my gosh, I'm not techie. I don't want to, take on the responsibility. I don't want to mess this up. And then you start getting into paralysis by analysis and you don't make any moves. So we're going to eliminate both. We're going to go straight line to a predictable way of helping businesses streamline their communication with AI and automation, and then earn our time and growth in the business. If that recap helped you to understand what we went over yesterday, if you're returning, or give you an insight of what you need to just practice and go back to and learn more, go ahead and type in understand in the chat. Just want to make sure that we have a good set of folks here that are seeing how we're positioning this, because although you may be a full-fledged marketing agency or a consultant or coach in your industry, this is an add-on to that. So it's not the regular standard way of doing business. We're tweaking a few things so that way you could see the result on your bottom line and then go all in as you go. All right, we got a great group of folks here saying understand. I appreciate you all, because understanding this at just the entry level is much more better than not understanding it at all. Because what happens is, when I talk to a business owner, no matter what their revenue is, if they're giving me a moment to chat with you like I'm chatting with you now, and I don't know what I'm talking about, I lose credibility. I don't have another second chance. So, when we start positioning ourselves, whether it is at a Chamber of Commerce event, a Zoom meeting, a referral, a text message, a phone call, an in-person, in the mix, at an industry trade show, wherever it is, you need to understand your entry positioning into the business and how that evolves. And we're going to get into the tech portion of the impact of what that's all going to do. So thank you all. We got a great group of engaging folks here. I see you, Sage, Kashif, Mario, Robert, Juan, IMTV 360, Anthony, Sharon, Juliet, Rachel. You guys are awesome. Thank you, thank you. Let's get moving and grooving here. Let's get to the elephant in the room, the tech setup. Give me a pulse check so I could understand where you stand with technology as a whole, with just like these widgets, right? Like, let's say a scheduling tool, let's say with like Facebook, let's say with like posting a photo or, doing an email blast, right? If you're techie, go ahead and type in the chat techie, whichever platform you're watching this at. Type in techie. If you're not techie, type in learning mode. Type in learning mode if you're taking on this challenge to learn. And again, either one you are is fine. It's just for us to understand, how do we cater in day 3, 4, and 5 to our amazing audience? Because this is all about you. I'm going to set this stuff up pretty quickly. I can do it with my eyes closed. Others can do it with their eyes closed and faster. But this is all about you. I'm making sure you know how to do it and what buttons to push, but also where to go from building to launch. So as we're getting this here, we have a great mix of techies, learning modes. I'm excited for both because our product is always ever evolving. What I knew last week, I had to step up my game because we got a bunch of changes that happened already, right? And then we have more changes that are in the pipeline. So this is never, ever, ink to paper. This is more of like magic ink. It's there a minute, then it goes away, and then we got to do another ink application to it. So this is exciting. Today we're going to go over, 3 key bullet points that is going to truly help you understand what you need to do at your pace from a live replay or live now into the membership course, university course that my partner Haplin did from our product management team, to bring the both together, because right now there's a gap. And the gap is by design, because today we're going to go over application strategy, a little bit of implementation, but the course was designed to get you 90% of the way with setup. I'm going to bring you home that 10%, and we're going to fill that gap. And then we're going to build upon that foundation into day 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to go over the agency view, what you should be looking at, why you would go to the agency view. We're going to create a mock setup of your agency website, like the snapshot and like the assets that you should be aware that you have, and then how to customize them. And then how do we set this up for our client, whether it's a beta or our first paying client? Either or, we're going to go through that. And then by the end of this live, you should be able to play back, feel good about it, and then take the online course, feel great about it, and then be super duper confident to get into the market by day 3 when we start getting into sales and prospecting. Cool? You with me? You tracking with me? Give me a thumbs up or type in thumbs up if we're on the same path right now. If you're tracking with me, you're understanding, I'm going at a good pace for you, go ahead and throw a thumbs up or type in thumbs up, or I'm tracking with you. Just let me know you're riding along with me here, because I'm going to press the pedal to the metal in a few seconds here. So we're going to go over a handful of items. I want to be transparent with you that, as I'm going through these different components, there may be a lag. There may be a lag because I'm on Zoom. My high-level account is streaming, so there may be a lag. Be patient with me. I may skip over one thing. I may go over it lighter depending on the lag, but I promise you that if you have a question or we need more context, our team, speakwith.us/success, will pick up where you left off. After you've watched the live, after you've watched the course, you've then have all the information to help them help you. But if you don't watch the live in the course, they can't help you because you're not going to know really where you're having a problem. So we're going to go through these items here. We're going to go through them in a good depth for the next hour and a half. And I might lose you, but it's okay. You can play it back and we'll continue on as we go. And again, why are we doing all this? Right? Why are we doing all this? Well, that's a personal question. That's a you question. Why are you doing this? Are you doing this because you want to take the idea of doing something on the side outside of your day job? Are you looking to transition out of your day job because there's a calling or a different feeling that you want to accomplish, and you feel like the technology, AI, high level is that path to where you want to be? Or do you have a traditional marketing agency? Do you have a coaching business, a consulting business, and you want to add on to build more value for your customers? So you're looking for added value ways outside of a membership course or live coaching. You're trying to give them the tools that maybe they use one or many of them in pieces, and you want to bring it all together all in one. Under your leadership, under your supervision, under your coaching, under your community, you're going to give them that fast track of not having to learn it on their own and giving up, right? Because we love to learn in groups. We love to be in communities. We need that support. So, of course, we're going to put a target out there, a finish line for us. And our finish line as a whole, right, is to get our first paying customer, right? As a whole is to get our first paying customer for the majority. But let's say it's not for you. It's your first beta client. Let's say it's just to onboard yourself and your clients. That's a goal as well. So I don't want you to get caught up with, because you didn't get your first paying client, you didn't win the challenge. Everyone's at their own pace and they're on their own path. You got to customize what your end goal looks like. This is a guide. Okay. But if you decide that you're going to charge your existing customers, your new customers, whatever money you collect through our platform using our payment integrations, our invoicing system, you keep 100% of it. We're just the avenue. We're just the connecting of the dots that makes it easy for you to do so. So you're in great hands. You keep all the money, but you're also responsible to give great service. So don't forget that if you take money, you got to give great service, and we're gonna enable you to do so. So as we move on here, I just want to remind those that are tuning in that in order to go through the tech setup, in order to get access to the collaterals, the membership course, you have to have a trial account, right? If you're not a user with us now, you need a trial account. And this is the link that'll get you access to that portal, to the community, to the Facebook group, to the amazing human beings that are on this challenge now. If you're an existing customer, you will have access to this as long as you fill out the form, and then we add those courses, and then we guide you to where to join the Facebook group without paying anything extra. It's just added value. If you're deciding to take on the course, then we're going to give it to you if you're an existing customer with us. So wherever you're watching this, whenever you're watching it, you're new, click the link below in this platform you're reading or listening this on, and get your trial set up. So, as we went over day one, completing the materials key, I went over that already. You need to do the work. No matter what you do, the work matters. Your mental approach matters. The action matters. So you do your part, we'll do our part, and then we'll make friends along the way and some successes. And again, this is the link that you go for the help. Do not spin your head alone. We have professionals waiting, available. We have teammates. We have other attendees. But this is your end-all, be-all, or your first conversation, however you want it to be. So let's get into snapshots. As we get into this course, the tech setup, the term snapshot pops up. And in the high-level ecosystem, snapshot is such a cool way of customizing your high-level account. And what we do with that snapshot is basically you create a template of features and outcomes, and that template can be shared with other high-level account users. So think of it like this. You serve the healthcare field. You serve the home services field. You serve professional services field. You have experience, intellectual property, processes, strategies that you bake into the high-level features. There's over 500 features and more counting, right? And there's more than one way to use one feature. So just do the math and you'll get my point here. But you're now taking that way that you do business offline, you're applying it to automation and technology and creating it for someone to duplicate what you're doing. And now typically, this will be included in part of a course, an introductory, a long-term coaching, or just to a business that you want to help out, right? You don't have to sell it. You don't have to make it perfect. You just have to make it to what's good for you and those that are going to be using it. And you're able to customize things like our funnels features, our calendars, our workflows, our websites. Able to take a website template or funnel template or calendar template and put it where it'll customize that person's name and information without you manually doing it each time. It's like a plug and play. You take the snapshot, you install it in your high-level account, and it takes all your information and plugs and plays where it needs to be. And that gives you the end result that you're looking for as it's customized. And the idea behind that is to have the agency owner to serve many with their talent, right? Imagine doing this over and over. You bring on 5 clients, you got to customize everything that you do with one client to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. That's how current platforms, individual widgets that are out in the market do it now. It's out of the box as is. You got to customize it each time. There's no copy paste. Look at this snapshot like a copy paste. We're just going to copy and paste our intellectual property, our strategy, our features that work, and we're going to give it to you as our client. Magical, magical, magical. And that includes the assets, the settings, and that really speeds the ramp up time when serving your clients. So we've done that for you in our AI snapshot. We've ramped up the speed time so that way you can go to market quick, and then you can go to market for your clients as quick. If you understand the concept of snapshot, type in the chat snapshot. Let me know if you're tracking with me. Let me know if you're following, and I'm being clear, right? I'm being clear, and if I'm not, it's okay. So snapshot, if you're tracking with me, if you clearly understand it, or if you need more clarity, type in tell me more. Type in tell me more. Let's see what we got. Let's see what the audience shares here. Snapshots. Now, all right, we got some good folks here. So Vanel, to answer your question here real quick, and this question is going to come up. How do I get the link? How do I get my snapshot link? It's in the membership course under the setup day. You got to go into the setup day. It's in the membership course. We have we have a great crowd here, and thank you all, because as I'm learning every time as we do this, I'm seeing the points that we have to touch on maybe 2 to 3 times in different ways. So your feedback helps us to perfect the way we share this information. So I appreciate it. For those that are saying more, please, I got you covered. And I'm going to get you covered here by showing you how we do it, right? Giving you the visual, because sometimes the verbal just doesn't do the job. So we'll get into the visual aspect of it, but keep the feedback coming. And again, we got to remind you of this, because we have a lot of folks in the early stages that if they could change one thing, they would have raised their hand sooner and asked for help. They would have raised their hand sooner and asked for help if they, 1, knew, 2, understood, and 3, felt comfortable. So I want you to know where to go. I want you to understand that these people that have committed to learning high level, that have committed to perfect their skill set, are ready and able to help you. And 3, we welcome it. We want you to get what you need in order to be successful. So we're going to make some adjustments here as I move in groove. Going to share, move some screens around. And I want to go over a few things here. Pull up my checklist. All right. If you've already completed as much as you can from the day 2 setup, you've completed as much as you can from the day 2 setup, go ahead and type in day 2 complete. Day 2 complete. If you have not had a chance, type in progress. Still in progress. And that's fine, because we're going to iron out those wrinkles in the process that might have held you up a little bit. And if we don't iron out those wrinkles live, we have the team that's going to support you behind the scenes, right? In progress. Okay, we got a few in progress. We got a few day 2s. Let's get into, let me share my screen here and get into our agency account and get this moving and grooving. Okay. All right. So let me share my screen here. So when we log in to high level, we should be at this agency view, right? An agency view looks like this. right? And because you don't have any sub accounts set up, it may not look exactly like this, but the side panel here is what you should be seeing for agency view. Agency view is your motherboard. It's your central information area. It's where all the features and technical setup and all of the important parts for you as a user, as well as your users and your users, you control everything from the agency view. And in this agency view, you have the agency dashboard. And whether you're in SaaS mode, which is another option, or you're in the standard mode, you're going to start seeing some information around what you have active and going, as long as your payment processor's connected, as long as these features are turned on. Now, I want to remind you that this system here is very robust. High level is very robust. So there's a couple of things I like to share to almost like, let's say, call reverse engineer or proactively learn and study. There's a couple areas you want to be your best friend. Area one is our high-level support portal. The high-level support portal can be reached at help.gohighlevel.com. And you can literally type in anything in the search term and it will bring the results that are similar or related to it. So if I was to look up AI chat without using any fancy terminology or any technological wording within our platform we use, I will see things that are related to AI chat. Now, it takes a little bit of patience and time to go through this, but our headlines, just like when you do like a Google search, our headlines typically give you the key part of what you're going to get from it. And then our description below it gives you a little synopsis. So you can move around here pretty swift and easily. This is one area. Another area that we want to introduce you to that is always updated is our updated changes. Let me pull that up for you. Our change log is where ideas.gohighlevel.com/changelog. We'll throw that in the chat here in a moment. This is where you'll see the updates to our existing products within the platform. So let's say, for example, this one is sharing a calendar update. Calendar is an active feature, and we've made some revisions to the feature. We've made some updates, some changes that will give you the information you need. So as you study this and you know where to go to learn and grow your knowledge around high level, the change log gives you the updates of what's happening in real time. And then the help.gohighlevel.com gives you, it's like the manual. Look at it as like the instruction manual to high level. It's going to give you that. The only difference is this instruction manual, you can read it, understand it, and take action and see a result from it. Sometimes instruction manuals out there, they don't piece things up the way you need it to be, right? Whether it's user error or not, we've perfected this for you. So let's get back to our agency view. I've shared with you the help guide on how to use this platform within agency view. And each of these features typically have additional features below it, right? So, for example, if we were to go to, let's go to our prospecting tool. I can't go one by one on this because we have a lot of content, but I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of the power that this platform has that's going to help you in day 3 tomorrow as we get into sales and prospecting. This prospecting tool allows you to have research on a prospect or businesses in your area done for you. So it will literally scrape the internet, pull up the information that is important for you to know. It will put it in a beautiful format for you to present, and it will give you everything you need to build upon areas of growth. And this prospecting tool is typically a tool that an individual widget business would sell for $197 a month. We're including it to use as part of the platform. And then there's upgrades on additional features and services that you can use if you want to accelerate that. But this will give you, I mean, this is a powerful tool, whether you're an existing agency or coach looking to build upon, you'll have this here. So this is one example of something that's only available in the agency view. We get into sub-accounts. Sub-accounts is where you will add your clients or your beta users' business. So let's say, for example, Christy Florists is my beta user or my first paying client. I'm going to create a sub-account for her business. I'm going to find a snapshot that is as close as possible to that business. If there is not, I'm going to just create a blank one. And I'm going to now give her access to that sub-account. And I'll show you what that sub-account looks like. But these are the sub-accounts, are businesses under your business with their own settings, their own controls, their own privacy, and their own products. If you're following along and you're starting to understand this piece by piece, whether it's complementing what you've learned already or it's new to you and you at least get the concept of it, go ahead and type in sub-account. Let me know you're following along with the sub-account review here. And the most important with sub-accounts is making sure you're filling in all the information. So you can search for a sub-account or you can add one manually. The only way it will not show up when you search is if they're a brand new business. They don't have a Google business profile. They have no information out there. So you have to add them manually. And that's a great place to be, because as you add this information manually, you're starting to develop their footprint for their business, their digital footprint, which is powerful. It's an honor. It's an honor, complete honor. So you'll fill this information in, and then it'll start walking through additional next setup steps, right? And there's additional features here as you're going. The next important one that I want to speed to, right, is our university. I see you, Sage. Sub, baby. I love it. I love it, guys, gals, friends, all over. This is great. You know, as we get into the university, this, believe it or not, some people do this up to day 2 on their own. They don't even know that they needed to go through the membership course. So I want to let you know that there's more goodies in the membership course, and there's more next steps that are structured with edited versions. So that way we make sure we get to every step. Every step. I actually had the privilege of having a gentleman in our last group literally mapped out, gracious with his time, mapped out every step, because he was a techie and he was a detailed-oriented person, and said, man, you guys got this on the ball. You didn't miss any steps. Shout out to Matt. You didn't miss any steps in this process. I went step by step from the detail to the macro. So our product team really put a lot of time and energy into this to make sure it is everything you need. So when we go to the membership course, we have some more goodies here that you may not have access to. We'll show you how to start getting additional courses, and we'll be launching new courses. Little sneak peek. We'll be launching new courses as we get into our next season here and our next evolution. But this is the one you want to be a part of. The 5-day AI challenge. And there's 2 depending on how long you've been with us. So you want to grab this one right here, the 5-day AI challenge. And when you go through this, you'll see that it has the welcome video, the information, mark as complete, go to the next lesson, right? This is now the next module. Press play, watch it, mark as complete. It'll bring you to the next lesson automatically. You don't have to move around. You stay within each section. And below each section has this About Us lesson with the, any additional stats and things that you need, right? So this is very easy to do. The finances, right? We're going to get to day 2 here, right? Just completing it. Now, day 2, setup day, we have the sub account setup. This is going in detail, right? So on and so forth. Now, a handful of you asked, what about the snapshot? This is the one for the snapshot. Install the 5-day AI challenge agency location snapshot. And here's the link that you're going to click on. And when you click on that link, it'll give you the next steps. If you click on this link without an account, it will not work. You need an account, right? So we're going to move on here. We just have a few more things to do, but this is the university section. It's very, very important to fill in those gaps, right? So as we go, the next item on the list is our lead connector phone. Now, this is not mandatory, right? This is not mandatory, but it is a function that you want to eventually use to make phone calls from your platform, from your high-level platform, and also text messages. And there's rules and processes along with it, but that is available in our lead connector phone section. So in our phone integration, you'll turn on your lead connector, and this is where you'll start to follow the instructions on activating your LC phone, your lead connector phone, right? So this is where you would go in the agency settings. And then in the sub account settings, there's a separate instructions on how to set up your phone number and validate it from a legal process to a turning on process within the sub account. So very detailed on how to do that, right? And then, within that, we also have our custom values, which is in the program. So our custom values are within your information settings, and then within your sub account settings. Your payment integration as well is where you connect your Stripe account, right? So collecting payments, you can use Stripe, connect or disconnect your Stripe account, or you can use other payment platforms as needed. But this will walk you through it, but it's all through the agency and then through the sub account. So it's like two areas you got to hit for this to fully work for you and for your clients, okay? If you're excited with what you're seeing, with the freedom, the flexibility, the opportunity, just the technology at work, go ahead and type in excited. Okay? If you throw a yawn in there, that's fine. Yawning's okay, right? Because you may be a super techie. This might be something that you already use. I get it. But if you're excited, throw in excited, because we're going to keep moving forward here. Okay? So within the snapshots is very, very popular. It's so important on setting up and doing work within high level to streamline, your work, your processes, the outcomes you want, and for you and your customers. But something else that is amazing that we've invested so much time and energy is called automation. Right? It's our automation tab. And the automation tab is located within the sub account. So what I've done here is I've gone from agency view, right? I'm in agency view now, and I'm going to switch to my sub account. And in my sub account, I have a new view of my side panel, and then I have a settings section. So look at this settings section as your configuration, just like on your Android or your iPhone. You have your apps, and then you have your settings, from security to however you want your phone to operate. These are the settings on how you want this sub account, this and this only sub account to operate. So very, very, very particular to this sub account. Right? So these are your apps, and this is your settings, your configuration under settings tab, right? So I want to touch on the automations and why automations are so it's one of those things that people love to learn and love to implement, because it gives that true automation, true end result without manually clicking buttons or doing everything one by one. So these automations revolve around triggers, which is like the starting point, and then the steps. So let's say, for example, in my workflow, within my automation tab, I am creating from scratch a custom workflow that I want my client to experience and their clients or visitors or leads to experience. And the trigger, there are so many different ways that turn on the automation, that turn it on, whether it's an appointment, a status, a course action, a payments action. So look at these as the categories and then the actions below it. There's so many different ways and variations, but this is just how you have to look at it from the start, right? So the trigger turns it on. So let's say, for example, my trigger is a customer booked an appointment, right? And when that customer booked the appointment, pull this up here. Customer booked an appointment. I can add filters on how detailed I want to go based on that appointment. Again, there's so many ways to do this that you can customize it. That's where the manual, the communities, the groups, if you signed up with an affiliate who's super techie and they have communities and support and coaching calls with you, this is where you get that extra level of support. But if you don't want to get too detailed in this, no worries. We have what's called recipes. And you can pick from a recipe based on a description and an action that you want or similar action that you believe will benefit what you're looking to do. So if we want to grab a recipe around setting up our social media to ask for someone to leave a comment and for us to automatically send them a message, we would use this recipe. You've probably seen it. You know, you're online, someone says, hey, DM PDF for my so-and-so, or DM tickets to learn more about our event, right? Or comment tickets or comment PDF. These are workflows within the automation that will grab that from your accounts that are synced. It will then, after it grabs it, it'll take an action on your behalf, and then it will take next steps on your behalf. This is like going into the jungle, okay? If you don't have a machete to cut through the jungle, you will get lost, right? And I don't want to go deep in the jungle here, but I just want you to know the jungle exists and you have the freedom and the path to go the route you want. And we're just going to be there to support you along the way, whether it's our community, our support team, or your affiliate, or a friend that's doing this along with you. But you should be excited about this, because as you dive in and you learn and you grow, you start to build this knowledge base that your customers thrive for. They want it. You give them, initially you give them a bird's eye view of what's available. And then you say, let's go deeper in. Let's take this action. Let's go this path. Let's pivot here. And you have the flexibility all under one system to do it for them, with them, along their side, or on their own with high level. And the kicker is, if you decide not to use high level as the brand, it's okay. You're going to be able to white label it with your custom brand, because that's what we designed this software for you to have the tool to serve your community, your customer base, your industry. This is just a bird's eye view of what is ahead of you. So if you love what you've seen so far, go ahead and type in, I'm loving it. I'm loving it, right? Because I want to make sure that you see the value in this. And again, I don't, for my less techies for my new folks that are jumping into our ecosystem, this is designed just to give you the bird's eye view. You're going to survive and thrive in this whole experience because we're going to be along your side. You don't need to use all these buttons and widgets and features. We're going to focus on one in a few minutes here. This is just to give you the big picture of what is at your fingertips to take on and make your own with your own branding to top it off. Thank Tiffany, Raphael, RL Custom Emails, Richard, GCM, Sharon, Latanya, Ben. We're on fire here. Bruce. Let me know where you're tuning in from, folks. I got to grab a sip here of coffee. Let me know where you're tuning in from. City, state, country, whatever you want to share. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We're almost an hour into this, my friends, and there's so much more. And I don't want to, I'm not trying to like cliffhanger you here. I'm not trying to hype you up. I just want you to know that however you found out about High Level, whether it was an advertisement, a friend, maybe you were using a business that you were working for that was using it. Maybe somebody said, hey, look, this is what I'm working on. Could you help me out with it? Just thank that person, right? Because, you know, in life, gratitude is everything when it comes to success. And, you know, we're grateful for our customer base, for our new users, our trial users, our staff, our developers, our founders, everybody we're grateful for. That's why this platform is always growing. Every week, new updates, new stuff coming out, new updates, new revisions, new features. So you are truly in the best place. There's no better day than today to get started. There's no better day to learn and to challenge yourself than today with the resources you have in your hands right now. So let's continue on. Let's continue on because we got a lot more to go. We have a lot more to go. So let's get into, let's change the scene here. Let's change the scene. So just picture this. You went through day 2. Right now, you're at the point that you've completed the setup. You follow the instructions. Now it's, John, I'm ready to launch my AI website, my AI feature, and I'm ready to go live. I understand what you have. I'm ready to go live. That's what we're going to do now. So I got to change my mindset on this because I went into the weeds on some of this tech because I enjoy it. But we got to get into go-to-market mode. Go-to-market mode is where we're at. So where do we start with go-to-market? We understand that our gateway offer, our purpose is to help small to medium-sized businesses streamline their communication in a fashion that they don't need to be babysitting their phone with their 2 thumbs, their keyboard, or have another employee that has to handle payroll, billing, or day-to-day dispatching operations to look at emails, conversations one by one and refresh every minute. So we're coming into the business with the solution of AI reception, AI executive assistant, AI support. And now we need to let our community, our network know who we are, what we do, and how we do it. Right? So we put that together for you. Or let's get into it. So what we've created as part of the snapshot is a website. And as long as you filled in, let me move some screens around here. As long as you filled in your business information as it asked, your business name the right way, your email, your phone number, those custom values will carry over into what we've created for you. The custom values will carry over. So I'm going to jump into that section now. So what we've put together first and foremost is the website, the prospect-facing website. So let's see what that looks like. We're going to go to the sites section. Okay. Now, remember I shared before, this is your like entry-level app. Like you click on the app. So you click on the sites app. And then within the sites app, you have like menus. Okay. The menus are on the top. This is the menus. This is the features, the settings on the top. Okay. It'll default to funnels. We created a website for you, okay? Websites will pop up, okay? So now with this website tab, we created the 5-day challenge AI website for you, which is this one, right? So I want to show you what it looks like completed, and then we can get into how we and what we customize and what you'll need to do on your end, right? So I'm going to open this up here, right? And as I open this up, you're going to see the home page, the pricing page, the sales calendar page, the onboarding page, and the onboarding questionnaire page, right? So when I click on this button here, it's going to give me a preview link. This is the finished product, okay? Some of you may have jumped on it when I had it up on the website earlier, yesterday for day one. Well, this is it now, right? And we're going to create yours, and you'll have your domain name connected to it. So this is what your prospect-facing AI reception website will look like. Within each page, you can customize it. You could adjust it. This is just a foundation, a format, or you can leave it as is. Up to you. Up here, we'll have the logo, because that's a custom value. Down here, we'll have your business name, because that's a custom value, right? And as we go, there'll be more custom values. But think about this. We're gonna change the scene to now. I've reached out to some folks on my phone, friends, whatever the case may be, and they're saying, "Well, do you have a website?" John, great. Do you have a website? Absolutely. Let me show you. Pull up the website either on my phone, my tablet, or my laptop, computer, and this is what they're going to see. And the great thing is that it's also mobile friendly. So this is what the mobile view looks like. You're going to be official. And again, you could customize the content within, but we made this ready to go for you based on what our clients and our past challenges have had, right? So this is the mobile version, right? And now, the magic of the demo, there's a term used in software as a service called demo, right? It's letting your potential customer, your prospect, feel and play with it themselves. So the demo of this is going to be them clicking on the bottom, or you instructing them to click on the bottom and asking a question. Okay. And when we ask that question, I may need to refresh my browser here, only because I've been obviously back and forth on this. So let me just do a couple setting checks here to make sure we're good to go. And I promise you we'll pick up where we left off. Okay, there. Try one more thing here. Okay. And I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna go in incognito mode. And I just want to, let me try do one more thing here. Bear with me. And we will be back here. Okay. So plug this in incognito mode. And widget pops up. And it's like when you go to the doctor, you're no longer sick. This is playing a little games with me. It's trying to throw me off, but we got this covered here. It's playing nice now. So we got the incognito mode. We are in the mix. How much is this? A chatbot is $97. Now, we're going to get into how you feed it, how you train it, the knowledge base, right? But our goal in this demo is whether you're working with a certain niche or group or type of industry, you're able to answer the questions that industry business owner or industry marketing representative might have within your knowledge base, right? So, this is very at the basic level, right? For one to many. But, they say, the riches are in the niches, right? So we want, if we're working with tree services, we want to create language and responses around that industry, whether it's, healthcare, whatever it is. Let them know, let them feel that the AI receptionist understands their business, right? And it's going through some previous questions, some previous engagements. It's building upon what it knows already. And we'll be able to, get into that, right? So now, like, I want to get into the meat. I want to buy this. So this is now walking me through the sales cycle, right? Because we've decided to do that. Let's sign you up today. When should we book? Today is fine. If you're following along, go ahead and type in the chat following along. So let me know and feel that you're following along this here. I haven't lost you. Although you can press the back button as this completes. I just want to know you're following along now. Right, so here's the magic part, right? So let's say, for example, let's put us in the mindset of a new med spa that opened up in our area, and that med spa has 2 employees. Both of them are practicing, technicians, and they are managing the phone on schedules. They're managing everything. It's just 2 of them doing everything, and they're getting an overwhelming response because everybody's welcoming them, from gift card purchases to service, so on and so forth. So if we were to install this AI receptionist on their beautiful website that maybe you created or someone else created, we're now able to streamline the next steps. So as a med spa owner, what I'm looking for is appointments or contact information to call back, right? But appointments is great because I could request a callback, and then I can know when to expect the call. So it doesn't have to be an appointment for service right away. It could be an appointment to call me back, or my availability. I work 9 to 5. I'm available on my lunch at 1 p.m. That's when I want a phone call back. So we can customize that there. So I'm going to say here, I want 12:25 on May 14th, right? And I'm not putting it the same way it's giving me, right? We're going to trick it a little bit. Let's see what we got going on here. Great. We got you booked for May 14th at 12:25 p.m. Right? And the conversations can all vary, man. What starts to happen over time is that you get folks that will prank your bot. You'll get folks that'll confuse your bot. You'll get customers that don't know what to do with the bot, and they'll do voice to text, and they'll just have full conversations with it. And you have to train your bot, your receptionist tool, and we're going to walk you through that. But if you find this cool, and I say cool as a general term, but if you find this cool, that lets me know that you see value. So if you find value in this, type in cool in the chat. If you find value, type in cool in the chat. Because now that we know what the big picture looks like, let's get into now the behind the scenes. When presenting, or whether it's a musical or, in front of an audience or a show, whatever it is, the audience doesn't really know what you have planned, right? Doesn't really know what you have planned. So, there's room for customization. There's room for learning here, because in your AI bot, we're going to cover the basics that you should have included, and then you'll be able to add on as you go. But at the very least, if they don't know what to do or what to ask, we're going to get to book an appointment. And no one will know what stage your bot is at, your AI reception is at, It's just always growing, always learning. Got a few folks here, a couple thumbs up, couple emojis, couple value, couple cool. All right, we're on the right track. Right, we're on the right track. And if I'm giving you that, oh, this is too much, John. You're going too deep. It's not what I'm looking for. I don't have time for this. That's fine. Leverage the support, leverage your schedule, take it piece by piece. The challenge is designed to hold you accountable, to keep you on track, and to keep you with a finish line in vision. However fast or whatever pace you go is fine, but stay in the race. Stay in the race. Keep the arms and legs moving. So let's get into the technical portion of this, and we're going to be able to then move on from there. For my techies, this might be something new, or this might be something that you already know. Follow along with me. Let's keep an eye on the chat for our friends that are not there where you're at yet, and we'll go from there. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Okay. So there's a couple of things here I want you to keep in mind that are important and that sometimes slip up because we're fast to go live and we miss a step or two. And this step that we miss can really hold us up or allow us to like get frustrated. All right. And that step is this one. When you go to sites and you click on websites, this is where you have to go, because if you go here, you're not going to see anything. You're not going to see anything under funnels. So go to websites. When you're ready to launch your site, after you've made sure all is well, right? You're going to click on that link, and then you're going to go to settings. And when you go to settings, if you followed the step of connecting your domain as described, you'll be able to see your domain name here. If there's nothing here, got to click add, follow the steps. You can follow the steps through a walkthrough with our integrations, or you can add it manually, your choice. But if you don't see your domain name here, your website will not publish online. It will only be here, okay? So make sure the settings section, you check it, you make sure your page name is with your business name. All that stuff is professional for someone not seeing it, for someone that sees it that's not you, right? It's prospect facing, public facing, okay? And you want to go through each of these sections just to be familiar with what's in there, because you're going to need to do this for your client, okay? Now, once we do that and we go live, now our domain will be connected. Let's go to the next portion of the website, right? And that website portion has to do with getting started, right? Now, I mentioned that the gateway offer could be $197 or it could be $97, right? $97 or $197, you get to pick, right? You get to customize that, right? So for someone that wants to get started, they could book an appointment here, right? Pick a time, book an appointment. Okay. Right. Schedule a meeting. Now that appointment gets scheduled, they can add it to their calendar. And behind the scenes, there is now an automation that gives them appointment reminders. But you have to have your LC phone connected. You have to have your email connected, all of which is in the day 2 setup. If those are not connected and synced, it will not work. No appointment reminders will go out. They will get the calendar option, but they won't get the reminders. Okay? So that's important. That's another back-end feature that you have to make sure it's connected, right? So as we go there, we're now going to get into the pricing page, okay? The pricing page is a backend page that you can activate that once you connect your payment integration, I can have a conversation with you. We could be on a virtual Zoom, Google Meets, and you could go ahead and purchase the bot with me on the Zoom or at your own. So there's a pricing page that they can fill in their information and purchase the AI reception tool right from this page. Okay. Some people prefer to have the appointment conversation. Some people say, look, I just want to make this available, quick, easy, same day, right now purchase. You have those choices. Okay. And this pops up. And when it's connected to your payment processor, payment goes out, gets added into your dashboard. Your money goes to your Stripe or your payment integration tool, payment integration method you're using. You get paid. We take nothing from it. $0. Zero processing fee from our end. Nothing on our end. Whatever your payment processor takes, that's the relationship that you both have. Okay? If you find this valuable, right, whether it's the calendar or the self-service purchasing, go ahead and type in calendar if you'd rather have the meeting, or type in self-service if you'd rather just them buy it on their own and then follow up thereafter. Are you a calendar meeting type of approach, or are you a self-service buy and I'll fulfill and speak with you and we'll take the next steps? Throw that in the chat. And thank you all for that that are following along here, engaging with us, but most importantly, typing Q and then your question. We're going to get both. Robert Fuller Life Solutions, I see you. I love both. I like both too. Robert, self-service. Juan, calendar. Stephanie, self-service. Ronald, self-service. Look, you have the flexibility to do whichever one you want. That's the best part. That's the best part. And if you're using this as part of an add-on to your existing customer base, no matter what you sell, whether it's professional services, coaching services, consulting, or just do an email blast to your relationships, you could go either or, and both will work well. It's because it's you. You're the reason why they're buying. The trust, experience, and future mindset of helping grow their business. Without you, this is just another commodity. You're the uniqueness of why this is going to grow. Okay. And if you prefer, let's say you get a check from somebody, you don't have to have a credit card processor to do it. You can take the check and then you could document that you received it in your platform in high level, that you received a cash or check payment. But the difference is that you'll have to get that check every time, right? If you go traditional hand money, you got to get it every time. And there's a gap, sometimes there's a risk that you're doing more chasing than what it's worth. So just keep that in mind. You want that utility, monthly, recurring, automatic. On the renewal date they sign up, the next payment comes out, and you are the fuel, support, and provider to help grow their business because of this AI reception tool with your streamlined approach, system, and experience. Okay? Let's roll with this. We're moving forward here. Okay? Sales calendar, very important with this, that you customize your availability. This is out of the box, right? So you need to customize your time zone. You need to sync your calendar. You need to sync your business information in here. Right? This is important because the experience someone has from the beginning is how they judge the next step or if it's worth their time. So where do we go to do this, right? In order to start customizing your calendar settings, we're going to jump into two areas. One, we're going to go into the editor, right? We're going to edit the page, right? This is the editor. And we're going to make sure that if we created a different calendar, that we have the right calendar picked. So let's say, for example, we have sales calendar here. but I put JB calendar holiday, my holiday calendar. So let's pretend this is JB holiday calendar. I'll pick JB holiday calendar. I want to make sure the right calendar is set here in the page. Very important, right? I'll save, I'll publish, so those changes go out. But then what I need to do then is I need to jump into our settings. So in my sub account, we're going to go to the calendar tab. Okay. And now there's a couple different ways to go through this. So this is just one way to get to the settings. My calendar tab will show me my appointments, right? So if I click on the calendar here, I'll see my appointments because it's synced with my calendar, right? Sync with my calendar. And I could turn those on and off as needed. So I have the choice of what I want to see. Many features here. But I want to go into my calendar settings. And again, the mistake that sometimes we make because our eyes are going different directions with different programs we're used to, we're looking here on the left side for the settings. We have to look up top. Up top is where we need to look at, right? And within the calendar settings. So I want to change the sales calendar. So I'm going to click the three dots here, and I'm going to go to the edit. And this is where I can do additional customization by adding a logo, changing the name, adding a description, right? But the availability is what I want to show you in this situation. The availability is what is the most important. Making sure your available hours are set. And this will work off of your sub-account time zone. This is working off of your sub-account time zone. Okay. So now if we're leveraging the help guide, we're typing in the help guide, right? Sub-account time zone, right? And I'm looking, I don't find anything here. So I'm going to type in time zone, right? General understanding of time zones. Okay, this is important, right? Company settings, all right? So I'm in the right place, right? Company settings. This is what I was telling you. It's in the business information. We want to make sure our time zone, automated events within campaigns work with this field determined when to send. So important is your time zone in your company settings, okay? So now let's get back to where we were at. We're setting our time zone. Let's say we want time breaks. We can pick our time breaks. So 8 to 1, 2 to 5. The middle times will not be available, right? If you're following along on this portion here and you're understanding that it's a little complex for the newbies or just, right, expected as the techies, go ahead and type in settings. Settings is the ingredient to all of this. No right settings is like not having enough seasoning, enough balance in your meal. It just won't taste good. This won't work. The settings matter. Thank you, Travis. Settings is perfect. Robert, I see you. Appreciate you. Right? We got our availability settings. We're tracking along here, my friends. There's so much more. I don't want to rush, but I do want to make sure that we're staying on track and we're able to pick up where we left off and then have a guide, have a starting point. So as we evolve in this now, we got our settings covered, which means our sales calendar is going to be able to book appointments. We have to do the same for our onboarding calendar because we don't want sales appointments and onboarding appointments at the same time. We're one person or our team is preoccupied with other things. So we go into that and we do the same setup for the onboarding calendar, right? So I'm going to go back to sites. Click on websites on the top. Go here, right? The next add-on here is the onboarding questionnaire, right? The onboarding questionnaire is after they've either completed a payment or you've marked them off as onboarded. There's a couple different ways to use this. This is a guide that you can customize of when it goes out, whether it's something you send out through an email or it's something that goes automatically after they purchase. We offer in-depth strategy and feedback and kind of, this is a little bit more of a custom how you want to do business. And that's fine. But the framework is what you need to understand. The framework is that when we sign somebody up, we need to give them a process that builds their confidence that they did not make a mistake to give us money and trust us. And typically we solve that concern or anxiety or issue by giving them predictable ways of knowing what's next. So, hey, you signed up with us. We're going to meet at 2 p.m. for onboarding. In the meantime, please fill in this information. With this information, I'm going to build your AI reception version 1. When we meet, we're going to modify version 1, iron out any wrinkles, and make sure that it's exactly what it needs to be set up to serve your use case. And you're going to use that by making sure all the information that you need from a person standpoint, point of contact, the business standpoint, all the way till the use case is completed. You will find that your customers will fill this out very minimal. And you will find that your customers will also fill it out very detailed, right? And you may not use everything or you may not have anything to use. But the starting point is getting them used to investing their time and following your direction and your asks, because if there's not any return in your ask, there's that gap. And in order to fill that gap, we need cooperation. This starts to build that cooperation momentum. It's like when you were learning to ride a bike, getting your foot on that first pedal is one, then getting the other foot, and then keeping your balance. This is going to keep their balance and their peace of mind that the journey they're on with you is worth every minute of their busy day. They got other things to be doing. You are an inconvenience until you prove otherwise, right? So this is going to help you streamline that and build your confidence, but also build theirs. And you can customize this same process again. You go into the sites section, you click on edit. When you go to edit, you could adjust the top content here, okay? If you want to change this information, you're going to need to click on the back button and you're going to need to go within the sites section, the forms, and then go to the builder. Forms, then the builder, and then 3 lines, edit. And now within this builder is just the form. You can edit and modify your questions, what's mandatory, what's not. So if I want to make mandatory first name, it's required. Last name is required. You have that flexibility. I don't recommend requiring everything, especially questions, because what will happen is they'll never submit the form because they'll put all their time into some questions, not others, and it won't send it in. And that'll just make them upset. We don't want them upset. So contact information mandatory. They're not going to give you this. We got to make sure we get this. When it comes to these questions, keep them unrequired. Keep them, just voluntary, and then build upon it as you go. And you'll ask these if you need to get on your onboarding call, right? If you're following along and you understand this form customization, the onboarding customization, the flexibility you have, go ahead and type in the chat onboarding. And if we lost you because you had to go attend to business, you had to go attend to family, you're off your work break and you have to go back to your day job, you're just waking up because of your time zone, whatever it is, no worries. We're going to go in depth, and this information in the live recording will support what my partner Haplin and our product management team has put together in the membership course. And then our success team, our support team, our Facebook group will be there to lift you up if you fall forward. We got you back. Okay. Great crowd here. Looks like I'm working off of a couple of different screens. So we got a handful of responses on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook business page. So thank you for wherever you're chatting and sharing. I'm getting a good temperature of either either way I look at it, we got some good engagement going. Let's pause here, right? Because this is important to keep in mind. You have done more than most right now. You've done more than most. Whether you're a business owner leveling up your game, whether you're a new marketer, whether you're a traditional marketer, whether you are a custom solutions, professional services, whatever you do with serving others, you are far ahead of the game. And I promise you, from business person to business person, that the time you put here will pay its dividends because you're leveling up your experience, your knowledge, and you're enabling your business and your clients to take on what is already here. Whether you provide it or not, someone is going to position this. You're just going to be ahead of the game. Okay? So thank you for riding along, taking advantage, growing, and just putting yourself out there. Because this is so important of understanding the how and the why. And I just want to, cheers to that. All right, let's move on. Let's get to the next set of stages here. Okay. We're doing good on time. This is not the most exciting, right? I'm trying to give you as much as I can without throwing the whole instruction manual at y'all. But this is not exciting for some. It's exciting for others, but this is needed. It's required for it to work. It's like having a toy or device and the battery's not charged, or you have double A's instead of triple A's. This is the batteries to the platform, is the settings. All right. So now that we've gone through the customization, how to go about it, it is now time to get into what we have available from the conversational AI perspective. This is what we just went over here was customer facing website for your business in a box, example. This is my new business. This is my new venture. This is my new beta. Love your feedback. Jump in, experience it for yourself. Here's some information about it. Now what happens when someone says, hey, sign me up? Sign me up, JB. Sign me up, David. Sign me up, Vanel. Sign me up, Stephanie. Nancy, how do I pay for this? Where do I get started? I want to get started today, right? This is going to happen, and it's going to throw you off, but you got to remain confident and know what you're doing. Because if there's any doubt that you don't know what you're doing, they're going to retract that call to action, that hand raise, that let's go. They're going to retract it because they don't want to be the test dummy, right? They don't always want to be the beta tester, or they want to make sure that they're getting every dollar worth. So now what do we do for our customers, right? How do we create this for them? Before we get into that, I want to pivot with the back end of the AI tool, and then that back end programming training, we're going to get into how we create a website or how we create a funnel with our templates. So if you saw my screen before, I created JB Jiu-Jitsu Gym, right? So let's say I signed up JB Jiu-Jitsu Gym. I grabbed a template from our high-level website template gallery. I loaded it up. I'm going to go edit. I'm going to add the logo. I'm going to change the wording. I'm going to add my photos. I'm going to add my phone number, all that good jazz. And then I'm going to add my chat widget, my AI reception, right, tool on top of it, right? So we get to that point. Now, how do we train it? So let's get into the settings portion of this. So you saw the prospect facing. We're going to go into settings in our sub account. Actually, let's do this. Let's just go 2 steps back. We want to go into our agency view because, so keep in mind here, the sub account features are set standard and conversational AI needs to be manually turned on for this particular feature. It needs to be manually turned on from the agency view. So we're going to go to agency view. We're going to go to settings. We're going to go to conversational AI. In conversational AI, We're going to find the 5-day sub account. This is our sub account, right? It's enabled now, but let's say it was not enabled, right? It would look like this. It's telling me that it's going to be 2 cents per message. Turn that on. This part is active, right? It's open. It's available now. Now we go into the sub account view, which is the 5-day challenge acquisition snapshot. This could be like, look at it as your business name or your customer's business name, right? That's what that would be. Now that we're here, we have to go into the sub account settings. We have to go into conversation AI, right? And now on the top, there are different panels that we have to go through, different sections. Let's start from the left and move on, right? So in the training, in the membership course, university course that Haplin put together, he tells you by design to only use live chat. And the reason is because we want you to get comfortable and confident with the live chat feature, because we don't want you to be bombarded with figuring out how to connect this, how to connect that. This is for the foundation purposes. But now, let's say you've passed the foundation part, you have the live chat. Now you want to add Instagram, Facebook. You've activated your lead connector phone system. You activated your text message within the lead connector phone system. You can now add it. You've connected your Google business profile. You can now add it, right? So this is the bare bone, and then you can add as you go, as you connect and turn on those features, okay? Now, this part here is important because if it's off, nothing will happen. And sometimes we want to shut it off. Sometimes we want to shut it off. Suggestive is going to give you a recommended response, but you'll have to click it and then hit send, okay? You'll recommend a response, click it, hit send. What we're looking for is autopilot, right? Well, autopilot, and this is where that 2 cents per message comes in. And now it's live chat, right? So we got that part set up. We want to make sure we're filling in our business name, okay? The autopilot mode allows you, if you hover over this little eye with a circle, it'll tell you what this does. And you'll see this throughout our platform. Little circle with an eye is an info button. It'll tell you what it does. I went 1 second because I'm impatient and I wanted to show you some of this stuff quick. But you could do 3 seconds. And 3 seconds maybe gives a human vibe, right? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, right? Fair amount of response time. If you do 5 seconds, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, the person may leave your website by then. 8 seconds, they may leave your website by then, right? So we want a pretty 1 second to 3 seconds is a nice fair speed, because the AI reception's designed to capture organic traffic, unidentified traffic, existing customers, and traffic in response to our Google ads, our Facebook ads, or any type of traditional print marketing or wherever our branding is out. So we want a nice speed to response, speed to lead. We'll learn about that in tomorrow, sales and prospecting, speed to lead. Okay, so I'm going to keep it at 1 second. The maximum message is powerful because, again, someone might, go back and forth over and over and over and over, and they might be tricking your bot or confusing or pranking you, whatever it is. But like 10 to 15 messages typically gets the questions answered, right? Typically gets the questions answered. I want you to look at this like preventing, spam messages, preventing, erroneous clicks, right? Like there's tools to prevent those. Well, this is kind of like that tool to prevent, someone messaging you 1,000 times and charging you 2 cents per message each time out of 1,000, right? So we go 10. And then you have the option based on your knowledge, your experience, and how you're in the system, that if I respond manually, the AI reception will stop So it's not sending a message from me and the AI. And you could do that by minutes, seconds, or hours, right? And this is as you evolve, you start to do different tools and different communications. You don't want to confuse people or have like, bang, 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 bang. Like, oh, what's going on here? Like, this is too much, So you have that flexibility. If you're following along here, and I see your questions, thank you, my friends. I promise we'll get to them, whether it's here or we're going to compile them or respond back to you. But if you're following along here, go ahead and type in conversation AI settings. I'm going to ask you to type in longer words because I need to know that you're committed, like you're going to expect your customer to be committed. You're going to ask them to do things that are going to take more time, more energy, more thinking. I'm going to ask you to do the same. Conversation AI settings. Let me know that if you're tracking along with me, you're watching this, you're seeing this, that you understand where we're at, and it resonates. It's starting to make a little bit more sense, right? And again, as you're bringing on, I've seen people come in with their first beta, their second beta, their first paying customer, then they got 10 paying customers because they're selling it at $97. Or they have, 25 paying customers because they're selling it on top of their existing customer base, right? Or they have one church that got started and then a second doctor that got started, and they have a whole network, or they're part of associations, or they're part of just giving, of just telling, sharing ideas and best practices, and they bring on referral partners. And it just expands, grows fast. Others spend time with one beta for 3 weeks and they give up. So there's different scenarios. Results will vary. Not may vary, they will vary. And they vary on a couple of things. They vary on your offer, your relationships, your knowledge, your setup, your positioning, your execution, your follow-up, everything. There's no one thing that saves the day or puts everything the wrong way. Okay? So it's a combination. We'll get more in depth. And we have some great courses in place. We have some great playbooks that after this challenge, we'll share with you on how to sign up for those. So that way you can elevate your knowledge each and every time and start piecing this together, right? So we're in this first portion. Now we got to jump into the bot trial. This is the fun part. Why is it fun? For 2 reasons. One, you don't get charged for the bot trial training, like training it up. It's included, right? So you can really go heavy on the use case. And 2, you get to see what the finished product looks like, right? Which is important. Like, I want to know the questions I'm asking and how I'm asking it. Like, how are they going to respond, right? So let's get into the bot training. In the course, it goes over how to train your bot. It gives you a PDF document, gives you everything you need. I'm sure you'll have additional questions. That's fine. But I'm going to give you the way that is the most easiest in my experience. And there's different ways to modify it, right? There's not just one way. So if you have Google Workspace and you have Google Docs, it is an option that you can create a Google Doc. You want to make sure it's a public link, right? It's a public link. Once that public link is available, you want to take that public link and copy the URL in that public link, right? If you have any questions, you hover over here, and it'll tell you, public link here, and you want to click Get Data, okay? And what that's going to do is going to scan that public shared link. If it's private, it's not going to work. It's going to scan it, and it's going to start to process it in your sub-account AI knowledge base. One does not work for all. This is strictly for this sub-account. And then you can also do the same. So on this drop-down, it has the snapshot AI, right, training document, status trained, right? I could refresh it as needed, right? So now let's say I want to add here now my website, because I've invested so much time on my website and it's got a bunch of information there. And I'm going to now have the AI reception tool scan my entire website, right? And there's different variations because now, I go for the exact URL, or I can go with all URLs with this path, or all URLs in this domain, right? So I'm going to go get data. Now, keep in mind, depending on the customer you have, they may have a built-out FAQ. They may not have a built-out FAQ, right? So what is required upon you? As the expert, you're going to need to now do some research for that client of yours and find out what are some frequently asked questions that customers or visitors of your customer would ask. So let's think about this. If it's a karate school, people are going to ask about schedule. They're going to ask about the curriculum. They're going to ask about the price. They're going to ask about the location. They're going to ask a handful of questions. My recommendation is to do some Google searches for karate schools in your area or outside of your area and look at the story they share with their audience, and then take that framework and customize it for your client. I want to emphasize, do not copy paste. Do not scan someone's website. Do not do that, because what will happen is, one, you're going to leave up your client and yourself to questionable practices. You're not going to have the right and current information that's going to serve your client. It's going to be a bad impression on you and your client, and it's not going to serve at any purpose, just headaches. So take that as a framework, throw it in the Google Doc, and look at it as you're the visitor and you want to take on, you want to do business with your client's business. And they can help you because they're the expert and they've been doing this a long time. You're just extracting the knowledge and what they're going through every day and making it easy to consume, right? So now this example here is complete. We scanned the Go High Level website and went through all the pages, grabbed everything, right? And I'm going to select all, and I'm going to train the bot on everything here. Because if somebody comes to my bot and they ask, well, what about this? What about that? How does it compare to this? How does it compare to that? I want them to know everything. And I don't want to be at the beck and call of responding back or leaving them hanging. Right? You ever talk to somebody and they leave you on hold? You're like, oh man, hello. Like, I don't want to leave anybody on hold. So I want to give them all they need and get that going. Okay? So this is the magic, and this is just doing it so quick. If this is impressive, if this is something that maybe caught you by surprise, I don't think this could do this. I didn't even think about that. Go ahead and type in the chat, wow. And if it's wow, type in super wow. Type in the chat, wow, if you're impressed. Type in the chat, super wow, if you're super impressed. Super wow. Got a couple wows. I'm waiting for those super wows. And if I don't get them, it's okay, because I got more for you. How about that? How about that? We got more coming your way. We got more coming your way. And I can't go over everything because, we're about 15 minutes before we got to start wrapping this up. So I got to tidy this up and we got to get to our next steps here. But I got wow and exclamation points. I got wow and a super. All right. Thank you. We put our developers. Let me share with you a little bit, a little you and I, right? Because this is context that matters when you're having these conversations. What you have when using High Level is a full-time developer team with full-time leaders, smart, techie, strategic business professionals working behind the scenes to make sure that at all times your product that you're delivering is up to the current status quo, up to standards and beyond. Okay. So what you see today now or in this recording can change literally in 15 minutes. Keep that in mind. There's no timeline. There's no guarantees that all this stuff stays the same. It's always growing and changing. So I want you to feel confident because now as you start to put your white label brand, your business name on top of the software, you change the branding colors. Maybe you go all out and you customize it with your own app as an add-on feature. Maybe you start hiring go high level certified administrators to work for you on a contract basis. I mean, we have so many success stories. And if you're not consuming our workshops, our spotlight session podcast, or attending our masterminds, there's so much more ahead of you. And I say this just to give you the big picture and see the future and the vision of what you're jumping into. When I've worked for some of the largest companies that offer this type of technology, I was selling this door to door. I didn't have 1% of what I have here. And I have no control or flexibility. You have all the control and flexibility, the support, the sales, and the development team at your beck and call, ready for you. So if you've been on the doubt or you're unsure or you're leaving software sales from another company or you're leaving selling digital marketing for another big company that's out there, this platform is going to give you the power to go out on your own and sell direct to consumer. So all those relationships you built, you can now sell it using your branded version of high level. How about that? So let's keep it going here, right? As we move forward, we start to now get into the configuration intents, right? So there's more into this. So again, this might be a little overwhelming, but we can go back and take our steps and customize, so on and so forth. If you're unsure about something, disable it. Okay, disable it for the time being, this being one of them. If you don't have the time or don't want to book appointments, I'm going to leave it enabled because we want it. But if I go to edit prompt, this section that is like, it's like a hidden door within this like maze of super value, super wow value, has now custom prompts and processes so you can book the best appointment for the best outcome for you and your prospect or client. So this goes super, super custom based on the custom values and actions you already have established. Yep, I just went there. And you can add custom conversation flow, right? This wasn't here a few weeks ago. This is new. And it's been tested and it's always growing. That change log will show you what we've been doing to it every day, every week, every month. So you have this here. Super wows, tons of questions, excitement, people helping each other, right? I want you to be excited about this, but I don't want the excitement to take away the action. If you don't do the action, step 1, step 2, hold off on step 2 for a few minutes because you're trying to catch up. Step 3, step 4, you're never going to get to the completion or close to it. But every step does matter, okay? So now we've trained the bot. JB, I got the jiu-jitsu school that wants to get going. I got the karate school. My brother owns a security company. My cousin owns a painting company. I just want to get them as betas. They have no website, no nothing. I mean, how can I show them I know what I'm doing here? And how can I get them up and running with this chat? I'm going to cover the cost. I just want them to see the value. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to go into sites. You're going to go to websites. You're going to click on new website. You're going to go to templates. You're going to click continue. You're going to pick their niche, their business type, right? And if it's not there, you can pick a template you like and customize it. If they're in e-commerce, we got you covered. If they do flea markets or farmer markets, we got you covered. They do eBay, Amazon, we got you covered. And there's so many more features that cover that e-commerce stuff that we can't even get into. Automotive, business coaching, health and wellness, we got you covered, right? So let's just say that they're home services and brother is flooring services. I'm going to click flooring services. Well, before I click that, I just want to know, like, let me see what it looks like. Take a quick peek, right? So we know we got to add our logo, schedule an appointment. We got to add some of our own photos. This gives you the framework. I like it. Let's roll with it. Continue. It's going to add the template. Now loading. Welcome. Right? Website ready to go. So now we got to go into, like we did with our page, with our business page, we got to go to edit and customize it, right? We have the digital business card. This alone, people charge $197 a month, $297 a month, just for this convenience. And if you add a QR code or you add a tap code, even better, right? So there's so much here, but don't let a website development question or something come up. Jump in the help guide and know that you have it available for no additional charge. And since you did the same thing for your website with your domain connecting, you do the same for theirs. And remember, settings, settings, settings. If the domain's not connected, it's not going to happen. And don't use your domain. You have to connect theirs or have them register one. We have folks that can guide you with this, and we have a great community that can support you. But just know it's possible, right? Same applies to any other industry. You get the website up. Now you got the website up. John, now what? Right? You create the sub account. You add the website under it. You got to click on the chat widget section. You got to go through the settings, right? Go through each of the settings, and it'll turn on. What happens if they already have a website with another company or WordPress or another service provider? You can grab the code, right? Grab the code, send them the code, or walk them through how to add the code. We have instructions on how to do that too. And if you have WordPress, we make it easier where you can just download the lead connector plugin, and it'll do the work with you for you. Just got to press a few buttons. It does the job for you. Kaboom. You're live. Chat widget going. Chat widget's connected to their sub account. Your settings are syncing over. Things are flowing, right? That's where we're at. So much I threw at you. Chat's on fire, by the way. Chat's on fire. I wish I could just jump in here and respond to all these and like every one of them, but this is day two is typically not like this, right? For a lot of people, we have so much enthusiasm, so much excitement, so much energy because folks get it. We've made so many changes, and people are seeing others do this. They're like, oh, if they could do it, I could do it, right? So we know what we know because we're listening, we're engaged, and I thank you for that. Let's start wrapping this up here, right? Because if you have not yet gone through the university course, you got to get there first. This is a supplemental. This is best practice strategy reinforcement. But the membership course that my partner Haplin from our product team put together, step by step, piece by piece, is the core. Then I come in and we connect. And that's typically how you're going to work with your customers, right? That's typically how you're going to work with your customers. So let me just make sure I'm caught up here on my notes. We covered so much. Go ahead and type in feeling great if you're feeling that this was worth your time, that this is maybe that missing piece in your business strategy, your business plan, your bigger dreams, I know I got more in me, I just don't know where to tap into. Go ahead and share their feeling great. And if you're not, that's fine too, because we may have caught you a little late, but it's never too late. We just got to catch you up, and we'll be able to do so as long as you're with us side by side as well. So as I'm going through this here, I want to get into a little bit of our course here, because it's important that I show you a few things that are going to keep you humming. And these are questions that happen frequently because folks don't always have the time to look at the live, or I'm just not jiving with the way that they consume education, and that's fine too. I just want to make sure this is clear on what you may be missing that may be causing that delay. So I'm going to share my screen here. First thing that you may be missing is knowing that the replays of every live are available in 2 places moving forward, right? They're available in the membership course on the bottom portion. It'll say live play day 1, live play day 2. Might take a while because we edit them so that way it's streamlined and quick for you to go through. But what's available right now, and you may be watching this on the replay, is the recorded live version. And that's housed in no matter what group you're in, whether it's the 5-Day AI Challenge group or any of our other groups, SaaSpreneur group or official community, it's in the featured. So here you'll see yesterday's. Here you'll see today's. It'll stay featured, right? And then what you'll notice here is that you want to make sure you pick under here new posts, because we have so many new people. And sometimes it's better to start from the most recent instead of like going from what's the most engagement. I've noticed that not every post gets the same attention because of maybe a time zone or question or solution that's not available at the moment, because we're all learning at the same time. So go to new posts and see the questions that are popping up. Jump in. If you don't know the answer, don't worry. Just maybe tag me. You can tag me at John Bermudez. We have our moderators, Ethan and Jordan, that are always looking out helping, right? But if you go to new posts, you'll notice that there are posts that aren't being supported or maybe didn't have a lot of reach. That's fine. If I go to most relevant, those are the ones that typically have more comments, more reach, right? There's different, the algorithm always switches. So that's, I just want to make sure we cover that there. And that's important. So make sure you get in the mix there. Next thing is the university. So we're going to go into the agency view, right? This is the agency view. Click on university. We're going to look for the 5-Day AI Challenge, and we're going to go through that, right? That's going to be important, step by step, one by one, right? So today, if you were with me yesterday, you did today's yesterday, which was day 2. You came prepared, ready to go, time permitted. Today, you need to do today's homework, right? Today's homework, which will pop up here. And today's homework's designed to give you what you need moving forward, right? So you'll do today's homework, right? And it'll give you what you need to do. And then you're going to work on day 3. You got to be ahead of the game because we're going to go over a lot of content and it's best consumed if it's familiar. So you're going to go into day 3 and watch the modules for sales and prospecting. And they're about maybe 8 to 10 minutes long max, but this is going to give you the framework. You don't have to do day 3's homework today. If you can, great. But just be familiar with like the sales script, the prospect, like this information. We're going to go in depth. And I'm going to include things that are not included in here. So it'll be worth your time to watch the replay or join us live. Time permitting, I understand that there's other responsibilities as well. But if you understand how to stay connected, go ahead and type in the chat, I'm connected. I'm connected, whether it is through the Facebook group, whether it is through the membership course, or whether it's through the supports. Here, you are connected with a high-level professional at all times, or somebody that is familiar with it or that is willing to help you and catch you if you fall. It's so important because without community, everything else is just a journey by yourself. Okay? And again, I want to just make sure that you're aware that you do need a high-level trial account or paying account to use the snapshot, to get into the course, to take the step-by-step. All of that is required. And we make it easy if you're just joining now. What a day. If you agree with me, type in the chat, what a day. I'm sweating. I can't believe what we went through. I can't believe what we went through with full room, active followers, everybody in the mix here. Give yourself a round of applause. Because this stuff ain't easy. This is not easy. Not easy. And if you're learning this fast and you want that next level of education, you want to be connected with high level to that next level to fast track yourself, I recommend you jump on our YouTube channel, Wealth of Information Conversations. If you do not have the time to go through this, to implementing your business after the challenge, we have what's called high-level certified administrators. High-level certified administrators. And they go through hours and hours of training. Then they go through an hour and change proctor exam. And they are added to our directory on gohighlevel.com. Now, the benefit of those folks is that they have the support, training, and direct communication with us, but that doesn't mean that you can't work with someone that you met in the group that is willing to give you help for no charge, willing to charge you a short fee. So you have that flexibility, but I want to give you the resources because there's still more to go over. But congratulations, you made it past day 2. It's been a pleasure to serve you. It's been a pleasure to hang out with you, teach you, and I'm excited for what's next in day 3. Tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're at it, same time, same place, same person, and you ready to roll. Until we meet again tomorrow, have a rockin' one. And if you're watching this now and it's on your time after the live, type in replay below. We have some great information to send your way as well. Till tomorrow, thank you.